So 2 years ago, on the 14th of December, 2023, I was alone in my bedroom. I didn't know any Muslims, and I took my shahada. And it's been, 2.5 years roughly from then. And this is sort of what my last 2.5 years have been like. I'm going to go over it all from the beginning to now. The journey, what I've learnt, how my understanding of Islam has changed. And hopefully it helps any reverts or any even born Muslims understand what it's like. So let's go back to, sorry, I've just had an entire milkshake with like protein and stuff in it. Let's go back to the night of the Shahada. It was kind of surreal because before then I was an atheist, and I was a pretty strict atheist. And then, like 4 months or so after first hearing about Islam and showing some interest, I was sat in my bedroom, well, a bit more, maybe 5 months. I was sat in my bedroom alone, taking my Shahada, and it felt very surreal. That night, the chills I got when I took my Shahada were chilling, to say the least. It was like very, I couldn't really believe it, but it was like this excitement inside of like, I've finally done it, and like this relief of I'm done. I've achieved this huge goal which I had over the last few months. But then there was also this sort of like identity crisis within, of like, and realization of the pressure of telling my parents, my siblings, my friends, changing certain parts of my life. Like a lot was going to change, and it really got a bit overwhelming. That exact moment, it got overwhelming. I was like, what am I going to do? This is insane. Cut 2 weeks and a bit later, I went to the mosque. First time ever going to a mosque, and I was terrified. I remember walking up to the mosque doors and thinking, I'll turn around and leave. If I want to leave, I can leave now. But I just kept on going in. I walked in. I happened to walk in at exactly prayer time as everyone was praying inside, and the only person there was a security guard. So I went up to the security guard, and he pointed at me and just went, go pray. And I was like, I don't know how to pray. And he said, okay, stay here. And then once the people inside finished praying, one of them came out, and the guard introduced me to him, and they're like, oh my God, congratulations, come in. And I did my first prayer ever in like congregational prayer in the mosque, and it was good. I got it completely wrong. The security guard kept on nudging me because he was praying next to me, and he kept on nudging me because my hand wasn't on my lap correctly, or it's just it was a bit of a mess, but my intention was right at least. And then a few months later, I started creating videos for Learn to Revert, the Instagram page, or this YouTube, even though I don't know if I did post them on YouTube actually. If you go to the shorts, you'll see a lot of them there. And the page sort of blew up. And with being online, your perception of Islam starts to change. And I'll explain how. It's less about love for the religion and love for God and love for the prophets, and more about rulings when you post yourself online. If you make a small mistake, you're going to be told, that's not correct, you need to do it this way. Every single thing you do is going to be checked to see if you're doing it right or wrong. And the problem is, you start to look at the religion as more of like a restriction, and you start to focus on the rulings. And if you're doing everything right, every time you pray, every time you do wudu, you're just so focused on right or wrong, which is in a sense good, but when you first convert to Islam, it's not good, because the pressure it puts on you could push you further away from the religion, and it did for me. So about 6 months after starting this Learn to Revert page, I was just so overwhelmed with, do this, don't do this, you're doing this wrong, you need to do this better. And I really didn't know, I kind of lost the love for it. My love for Islam disappeared. And then there's one more thing, and it's the actual identity crisis. Every new Muslim goes through the exact same thing, which is, I'm English. I was born in Cambridge. I'd lived in Peru for a bit, but mostly my life is English. And the English culture is very relaxing for me. I find it comforting. And after 6 months, I'd already done Umrah. I'd gone to Saudi Arabia, I'd gotten some thobes and everything. I saw my identity start to change. I was wearing thobes on the streets where I grew up. I was wearing the Islamic hats. I was behaving differently. I was just not the person who I was pre-Islam, in not the best way, because I had lost myself. And something I've come to understand now is there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with yourself, with the way you act, with your culture, and there's nothing wrong with it. The things that you want to make sure you get in check, I guess, is if there's anything haram that goes against your culture. So for example, in English culture, bacon is quite common, drinking is quite common, even though it wasn't really a part of my life. I was a vegetarian for a lot of my life. And I barely ever drank alcohol, especially towards the end of my non-Islamic journey. I barely ever drank alcohol. So it wasn't a big thing when it comes to like that side of my culture. Everything else, like British culture, is built on politeness. It's built on even the way you dress, the way you behave, saying good morning to your neighbour. Like there's these small things that you notice, at least in Cambridge culture, that in the majority of Islamic countries' cultures, so Pakistan, Bangladesh, which is the prominent part of the UK, or part of Muslims in the UK, they're just different. It's just different. And I found myself living more like them, and more with some Arab-like clothing and stuff. And it's just not me. And I think being comfortable with who you are and having Islam as a source of elevating your persona and your attitude and the way you act day to day is how it should be. You shouldn't change completely who you are, I personally believe. If you want to, that's fine, but I personally believe it's best to remain who you are and just improve it with Islam. And that leads me to the final bit, which is how I see Islam now versus how I saw Islam before. As I mentioned before, I saw Islam as ruling. You need to do this way. You need to do this way. You're doing this incorrect, so fix it. To the point where I didn't look at Islam as like something I loved. I looked at Islam as like a boss who was constantly telling me what to do. And that's not the correct way to look at it. You're supposed to lead with love for the religion. And I've got a close friend here in Saudi Arabia who's not a Muslim. And he's been asking a lot of questions about Islam. And I told him something that I think surprised him and surprised some of my Muslim friends, which was, I said, look, if you converted today, if you said your shahada right now, and tomorrow you were drinking alcohol, I caught you drinking alcohol, I wouldn't even be mad at you. Because the idea isn't to flip a switch and suddenly you're a perfect human. The idea is to have this love within and grow this love for the religion and for God within, to the point where you don't want to drink alcohol because you love the religion so much and you love the commandments. And a few examples for this would be like music. Music is a big thing. I used to be so strict with music. And it kind of got to the point where I was just not listening to music, or like staying away from music out of fear of being judged from others, not because of my love for Islam and knowing that it's a ruling. Knowing that if I post a story and I happen to be in a supermarket and there's music playing, I'm going to get a DM from someone saying, you're not supposed to listen to music, even though it's outside of my control. I found it such a ruling, a yes or no thing, when in reality, you get to this point eventually where you just love the religion and you understand the rulings in it, and therefore it's easy to get rid of music. You're not forcing yourself every day to get rid of music. You're doing it because you just have this love for the rulings, which comes from love for God, which eventually means love for, sorry, I just adjusted my balls on camera, which comes from a love for, like you eventually love the religion so much that the commandments are not a restriction anymore. They're more like freedom. You know that it's making your life better. So that's how I see Islam nowadays. So any new revert, I don't think they should change their life too much so quickly, because the goal is to love the religion. The goal isn't to pray with the most straight back, because eventually that will come naturally just by loving the religion. So yeah, that's my 2.5 year recap. I'm living in Saudi Arabia now, which is quite cool. I think I'm going to go back to live in the UK, which is an interesting thing. I might make a video on why I'm going back to the UK after living in Saudi Arabia for over a year. Even though people say, oh, it's an Islamic country. There's stuff that you wouldn't realise. I have to be careful with what I say though, because I can get myself in trouble. But yeah, I'm considering going back to the UK. And honestly, it's been a great... Islam has been one of the best decisions of my life. Possibly the best decision of my life. I haven't really thought about it that much. Probably, yeah, the best decision of my life. But it's come with its challenges as well. And I think the important thing is that it is a challenge. The goal is to make it something that you can withstand and go through comfortably without pushing, or let's consider it like a pencil. The more you try and bend to the rules, the closer you come to snapping. Whereas what falling in love with the religion is, it's like having a green, nice, vibrant branch. And I don't know if you get this, when you have a dry, old branch, it will snap immediately. Whereas when you have a branch that is alive and green, it will bend a lot because of the moisture. The goal is to love the religion so much that it makes you so alive that you can just bend. And if there's a ruling, it bends you a bit and it doesn't snap. That's the goal. What an analogy. Anyways, I'm going to end the video there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you wish to subscribe, I'm going to be making more videos like this frequently. If you want to... so I teach people about Islam on Instagram, on YouTube. And for this, I have editors who are making different language versions of every video I make. I have people managing a website. And currently it's all donation based, but they're really good people. And I want to be able to pay them to recompense them for the time and effort they put into Learn to Revert and helping people convert to Islam. So if you wish to donate, click on the link in the description. There's the website where you can read articles on Islam, find book recommendations, but you can also donate. And those donations go to really, really good causes, whether it's my team that helped me spread Islam more, and directly a donation, your donation will most likely be a direct cause to someone taking their shahada. Because the amount of information we can spread out there, and the amount of shahadas that come from teaching Islam in this way, is mashallah incredible. So if you do wish to donate, please do so. If you don't, that's why we make all of this free, so that you can just enjoy it anyways. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Check the link down below to donate, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.